In 1920 Boston, one immigrant's promise of effortless riches shook the entire United States. Today, we uncover how Charles Ponzi rewrote the meaning of financial trust. In 1920 Boston, Charles Ponzi promised investors 50% profit in 45 days. Why did thousands across the United States believe him and ignore every warning sign? Charles Ponzi, the promise that broke America's trust. To understand why Charles Ponzi's offer felt irresistible, we need to step into Boston and the United States economy in 1920, right after World War I. In 1920, the United States was adjusting after World War I. Immigration surged, prices rose, and many ordinary families in Boston searched desperately for safer, faster-growing savings. Charles Ponzi arrived in the United States from Italy in 1903, chasing opportunity. By 1920 in Boston, he had already failed at several small schemes and jobs. The breakthrough Ponzi claimed to discover sounded technical and harmless, a loophole in something almost everyone ignored: the international reply coupons sold by the U.S. Post Office Department. Charles Ponzi said he discovered profit in international reply coupons, small vouchers from the U.S. Post Office Department, by exploiting currency differences between Europe and the United States. In early 1920, Charles Ponzi founded the Securities Exchange Company in Boston, Massachusetts, promising 50% profit in 45 days by supposedly arbitraging international reply coupons worldwide. What made Ponzi's offer explode wasn't just the numbers. It was seeing neighbors, co-workers, even bankers in Boston line up and actually collect those promised returns. By mid-1920, lines around the Securities Exchange Company stretched down Boston streets. Investors reinvested profits, and word spread through Massachusetts faster than any official warning could travel. Banks noticed. Charles Ponzi opened accounts at Hanover Trust Company in Boston, and some depositors even withdrew savings from established institutions to chase his extraordinary Securities Exchange Company returns. Behind the scenes, professional skeptics were already running the numbers. One Boston brokerage firm, Jackson & Curtis, tried to test whether Ponzi's story could possibly be real. Analysts at Jackson & Curtis, a respected Boston brokerage firm, calculated that exploiting international reply coupons at Ponzi's scale would require more coupons than the world actually printed. In July 1920, Richard Grozier, publisher of the Boston Post, assigned reporters to investigate Charles Ponzi. The newspaper sensed a story that could shake Massachusetts and beyond. Ponzi didn't hide from the spotlight. When the Boston Post pressed him, he leaned into celebrity, even inviting an accountant to examine his books, hoping confidence alone could silence doubts. Under pressure from the Boston Post, Charles Ponzi hired an auditor and opened some records. Yet, crucially, he refused to reveal detailed holdings of international reply coupons anywhere. Even as skepticism grew, money flowed faster. By late July 1920, Ponzi was reportedly taking in hundreds of thousands of dollars per day from across Massachusetts and neighboring states. Then, almost overnight, the tone shifted. Regulators, postal officials, and the Boston Post converged on one simple question: where were all the international reply coupons supposed to be? The U.S. Post Office Department confirmed that only a tiny number of international reply coupons circulated in the United States. Ponzi's claimed volume was mathematically and logistically impossible to support. After critical stories in the Boston Post, nervous investors demanded withdrawals. Crowds besieged Ponzi's Boston office, turning calm cues into a panicked run that his scheme couldn't survive. Within weeks, the illusion collapsed completely. What began as a clever-sounding arbitrage play ended in criminal charges in Middlesex County and the federal court in Boston. Investigations led to Ponzi's arrest. In 1920, he faced charges in Middlesex County and later in federal court in Boston for mail fraud tied to the Securities Exchange Company. After serving time, Ponzi drifted through new schemes, including in the Florida land boom, before eventually leaving the United States. He spent his later, impoverished years in Brazil, largely forgotten. Today, every time we say Ponzi scheme, we're really remembering this one story from 1920 Boston and how it reshaped the United States' idea of financial trust. Charles Ponzi's 1920 fraud pushed regulators, investors, and newspapers like the Boston Post to scrutinize promises. His name now defines schemes where new money secretly pays old obligations. Charles Ponzi's rise and fall still echoes in every too good to be true offer. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to explore more stories that shaped how we see money and risk.